It makes sense that Big Ant Studios has stepped away from the Don Bradman license in favour of partnering with the current Australian and English cricket boards for its latest cricket game. Because with all due respect to the greatest Australian in the history of Australianism, Ashes cricket isn't Don Bradman. Ashes cricket is Steve Smith, rife with distracting little quirks as it takes guard, but nonetheless capable of a confident, exciting and reliable brand of cricket once each ball is delivered.
The crowd's on their feet, probably hoping they can catch a six.
Off the bat and over the rope.
Big Ant's latest just feels right in the hands. The divisive analog stick-based controls of the Bradman games return in Ashes cricket, but this time they're entirely optional. Instead, Ashes cricket defaults to a more traditional button-based setup that makes the game much easier to pick up and less laborious to play, without sacrificing any of the finer inputs found in the previous method. Further enhancing the batting side of things is the way the substantially improved shot animations work in tandem with the eminently reliable ball physics. There's a seamlessness at the point where the animation of a batsman's stroke intersects with a delivery that holds up well even under slow-mo scrutiny, as batsmen actually step and plant their feet rather than artificially glide into position as with cricket games of old. With such responsive controls and players that actually feel grounded within the world, I felt better rewarded for playing the right stroke at the right time, and conversely I rarely felt my dismissals were contrived by a random chance algorithm. The AI is also noticeably smarter in Ashes cricket than before, especially in the way it proactively adjusts its fields to cut off your favourite shots and try and force you into making a mistake.
Wait!
However, even on the harder difficulty settings, it doesn't always nail the more nuanced strategies of the game, such as knowing when to accelerate during a limited overs run chase,
6 to win. Can they do it?
and ultimately puts up a strong contest without quite being able to match the cunning of human opposition on the couch beside you or online.
This wicket is potentially a turning point.
While the players might not quite be able to think like humans, they certainly look a lot more like them, at least in terms of the fully licensed men's and women's Ashes squads. The likenesses of the players are uniformly excellent, right down to the unkempt chin scruff on Glenn Maxwell and the permanent smugness smeared all over Stuart Broad's face. Meanwhile, on the women's side, superstars like Elise Perry, Meg Lanning and Sarah Taylor are all recreated to equally convincing effect.
Shouts all round.
And it's a treat to take these teams through the full calendar of fixtures for the current men's and women's Ashes series. Ashes cricket's overall attempt at broadcast-style presentation still lacks the polish required to stand alongside the bigger budget offerings of EA Sports and 2K. And there are a number of niggles present, particularly in the replay system and the frequently incorrect commentary from Michael Slater. Certainly when it comes to offering his insight into the proceedings, it often seems less like Slater is describing a stroke and more like he's suffering one.
Good throw from the deep, on target, good running, that's 3.
Yet out on the field, Ashes cricket really does look the part. It's not just the bowlers and batsmen that have benefited from the brand new motion capture technology, but the idiosyncratic behaviours of the fielders too. And the realism is further enhanced by the shouts of encouragement from the wicketkeeper and the incessant Barmy Army chants. Ashes cricket might fall short when it comes to recreating the gloss of a modern television broadcast, but it's satisfyingly spot on in terms of simulating the feel of actually being at the ground.
That's what the crowd have come to see.
Speaking of grounds, Ashes cricket features all of the major Australian stadia featured in the 2017-18 Ashes series. But any ground not already included in the game can be built and shared with the powerful Stadium Editor, which returns from Don Bradman Cricket 17 alongside the Player Editor, Logo Editor, customizable tournaments and tours, and extremely tweakable list of difficulty settings and control setups. Ashes cricket can be moulded into the exact cricket experience you want it to be. And would you look at that? A sports game in 2017 with not a single microtransaction in sight.
Nice, Gary.
You can say that again, Matty.
Big appeal. This is a big wicket.
Like an 80 overs old Duke's ball, Ashes cricket may be a little rough around the seams, yet it still manages to impress where it counts the most, out in the middle. There has never been a cricket game this approachable, fully featured or fun, and the inclusion of licensed Ashes squads and stadia is just the icing on what is already an exceedingly customizable cricket cake. With a bit more shine on it via future patches and community-created content, it could be well and truly amazing. But even as it stands, Ashes Cricket is the best video game representation of the sport to date. For more sports game reviews, check out our verdicts on NBA 2K18, Madden NFL 18, and FIFA 18.
Bowled! Out! The last wicket to fall. A gorgeous delivery to wrap it all up in this innings.